Hello to you. Today, I will introduce you the scariest women in the world. In this list, you will not only see a woman who has officially received the title of the most dangerous woman in the world, but also a professional killer who had a complete drug cartel under her control. And even with her rough appearance, she seemed not to be missing one of the worst stars. Stay with us here at Winnja, because it will be very exciting, heartbreaking, and terrifying. Natalia Baksheva from Krasnodar in southern Russia is a woman you have never want to mess with it. A farmer nurse along with her husband Dmitry, according to official documents, were involved in at least 30 murders between 1999 and 2017. This killer couple would target specific individuals on dating platforms and arrange meeting with them. Upon meeting, they would kidnap the victims and transport them to their residence to cold-bloodedly execute them. But the horrifying story of this couple didn't end there. Natalia started cooking pieces of victims and selling them as specialty meats in bars and restaurants nearby. Additionally, she occasionally worked in the kitchen of military educational complex where they lived. Natalia cooked special meals for the soldiers living there. However, due to Dmitry's carelessness, the police uncovered the crimes of this killer couple. The day Dmitry loses his mobile phone, containing gruesome and clear pictures of the victims, the police officers enter the apartment of this husband and wife butcher, where they find evidence and numerous remains of their ruthless deeds. Ultimately, they confess to everything and are sent behind bars. In fact, the next ruthless woman, whom the beloved drink, and from my perspective, the most distinguished cocktails of alcohol is named after her, is Bloody Mary, whose original name is Mary Theodore. She was not only the first reigning queen of England, but also a devout Catholic. Despite her short reign from 1553 to 1558, more than 300 protesters of that time were executed by her order. She pursued and arrested all dissenters and followers of other religions, ultimately condemning them to death by burning at the stake. For these reasons, during her 5-year reign, anger, turmoil, and fear cast a shadow over the country. Despite having no children herself, even pregnant women were not exempt from her cruelty and the delay in executing her orders. These ruthless and unworthy actions have earned her the title of the most detested Queen of England to this day. We continue with a group of the most dangerous and devoted female warriors, known as the Peshmerga women. In a sense, the name Peshmerga refers to someone who predicts their own death before it happens. They cannot be labeled as ruthless because they are armed fighters who fight for freedom and their land. They are said to be part of the armed forces of Kurdistan, and no recruits must endure an initiation ritual symbolizing that it's better not to mess with these warriors. The military combat forces of the Kurdistan region, composed of both men and women, were specifically trained to combat ISIS. However, the Peshmerga women are so serious and prepared that ISIS militants believe if one is killed by one of these women, they will never see the gates of paradise. The presence of the Peshmerga is constantly remembered by human rights organizations as individuals with pure intentions and human ideals. But we continue our series to Italy, and the first female boss in the history of the mafia, Legacies. And she's one of the most powerful mafia leaders in the world, Anna Maria LaGuardia, a woman who is now 71 years old, and her gang members call her Godmother. After the death of her brother, Nadu Lagidi, in 1994, she took over the management of this family, alongside businesses such as drug trafficking and extortion. She also added another new business to this group. During that time, she lured young and beautiful Albanian girls into Italy with promises of jobs in various neighborhoods. Eventually, when these girls were no longer useful to her and had no benefit to her, she would kill them. Due to the sudden discovery of numerous victims in Naples and its outskirts until 1999, massive protests erupted onto the streets and leading to her arrest in 2001. She was sentenced to 8 years in prison. But we arrived at a woman who has officially been dubbed the most dangerous woman in the world. In fact, Fred Gibbs, an American who is famous for the legend of kickboxing. In 1994, she received this extraordinary accolade for her astonishing victory against former world kickboxing champion Valerie Henin. But that wasn't enough, as she went on to claim more and more victories and world titles for herself. To these days, she holds the title of the most dominant female champions in the world. In a total of 17 official fights, she has won without a doubt and has won 15 games solely by knockout. In addition to this, as an African American in 1994, she also became the champions in the ISKA World Cup, which she managed to win twice until 2001. It can be said that ISKA is the most important global organization in the field of kickboxing. In 1997, she joined the ranks of 12 professional kickboxers and performed so successfully that she only received the championship title twice with just 2 losses. She holds a black belt in Taekwondo. She even pursues American basketball professionally due to her remarkable achievements. Because of the remarkable accomplishment this 58-year-old kickboxing fighter has had so far, she remained on the list of the top 10 most successful female athletes in America in 2016. One of the coldest American killer is Aileen Wuornos.
You killed 7 men.
Yes, you
and
did.
I'm asking you, what got you to kill the 7
And
men?
I'm telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it?
Whose victims include those who haven't subscribed to the Winnja channel yet. Just kidding. This American woman from November 1989 to December 1990 has been proven to have killed 6 men and earned herself the title of America's first female serial killer. Although these murders may seem somewhat unusual for a woman whose profession was prostitution, she would calmly sit in her victim's car, shoot them, and then steal anything of value, which made her appear even colder. Ultimately, with the help of her former girlfriend, Tyria Moore, who turned her into the police, they were able to uncover her. Due to a phone call they had together, the police were able to listen in and gather details of her confession. Nevertheless, Wuornos claimed in court that she was only forced to commit these murders in self-defense, a claim she later recanted during her imprisonment, admitting to the crimes. However, despite her claims, after 12 years in prison, she became the second woman in Florida to be sentenced to death. However, American psychiatrists believe that Wuornos has a psychopathic or antisocial personality. The story of Aileen Wuornos has garnered worldwide attention, with many films and documentaries made about her crimes and tragic life. But the next woman on our list poses serious danger, especially for the young people born in 19th century in Hamburg, Germany, like Elisabeth Wies, who was a midwife. Not only did she perform illegal abortions, but she also kept many of the babies for herself and told the parents that they could see the children whenever they want. She charged a lot of money for this story. When young couples come to see the children, Elizabeth would tell them that she had entrusted them to wealthy families and had started a good life with them. However, she had destroyed all these countless children. In the end, in 1904, according to the German constitution at the time, she was sentenced to death and disappeared from the scene. We conclude our today's video with one of the women of the Mexican gangster boss, whose appearance doesn't resemble Kim Kardashian's missing sister. In fact, Claudia Ochoa Felix, a Mexican, appears in her Instagram photos with expensive makeup and clothes. However, the significant difference with the Kardashian is that she sometimes likes to hold an AK-47. In fact, Felix has one of the most dangerous Mexican assassin squads, Los Antrax. Moreover, apparently she also managed a contract killer organization and the renowned professional smuggler El Chapo. Due to her immense popularity, world-famous celebrity Drake also has a crush on the beautiful Mexican Felix. Even Instagram chats between them have been leaked, clearly showing one chatting with this professional criminal, even giving him a private phone number. Despite all the evidence and discussions, the police have never been able to arrest her with a warrant.